Yeah, I see inclusivity as being able to say what I believe and that be okay.
Well, actually, I think one of the things which makes me feel included in the University of New South Wales is that it's got a long, straight corridor down the middle. And this sort of forces people to come across each other.
It makes me feel included when people actually notice when I don't understand something. The tendency is when I talk to domestic students, they often talk to their friends about things like HSCs or things that they know is happening locally, and a lot of these things I honestly don't know about.
I'm Hannah. I study interior architecture and I'm a Christian.
I'm Vivian. I'm from the Philippines and I've been here in Australia for just shy of a year.
Hi, I'm Max and I'm the LGBTQI champion for the Built Environment faculty. Something that makes me feel included is when there's enough space and room for me to exist how I do in a genuine manner as a person. One of the things that can be really great for that is when people take the time to get to know me beyond first impressions.
One time I felt like really included was I was hanging with people from the debate society and they were all talking about what they did during the HSCs, the subjects they studied, and as an international student I know nothing about what they studied here. And then they kind of found the middle ground. They told me about literary works that they've read that I've read as well, and we discussed that. They explained to me what the tests they did were, what they were for, and how important it was for them. So it kind of actually made me understand more about them, and they asked me about things that I learned in my past, things that I did in high school, subjects I took, and that made me feel really included because I felt as though that even though I didn't experience what they experienced, they're still willing to know what I did.
There's a group here on campus called Campus Bible Study, and we all hang out, and so yeah, it's this social side of uni that I actually get to be quite a bit part of. So it's a good balance in doing work and then being able to relate to other people.
Hi, I'm Charles.
My name's Rosie.
I'm Ruben Roy. I'm doing my Master of Architecture and I'm obviously Indian. What makes me feel included is that people actually approach you not like you're an Indian, but more like you're an architect, more like you're a student, and that plays a huge role in it.
I don't think I've ever felt not included, but probably in the very beginning when I started uni, I was a little bit cautious because of the age difference between myself and my peers. However, that quickly subsided. My biggest challenge, and I'd have to say, is modern technology and fairly old school for my end. So that is what causes me the most anxiety. It's the computer programs. However, the lecturers and my peers, and they didn't hesitate in saying, hey, sit down and let's help you.
Well, I currently have a neurological disorder by the name of paroxysmal kinesiogenic choreoathetosis, also known as PKD. When I disclosed my disability to a couple of my friends, they just said, yeah, well, what about it? I think that was probably the best possible response I could ever get. There's no special treatment, there is no such thing as, you'll have something, you have to approach them in a special way. They are still a normal human being.
So one time that I really felt inclusive is when one of my batchmates who was struggling with English, we offered to teach each other our languages, and that really struck it off. I ended up learning a little bit of Mandarin and she ended up polishing up her English. So it's like a give and take, and that's cultural inclusivity. Like, you understand what it is to be part of a community and you end up becoming a part of that community in the process of it.
If I had one tip for people to be more inclusive, it would be to be mindful. Some people have different levels of comfortability with what they're willing to talk about. So it's just really being mindful and knowing cues when you're talking to someone of a different background, because maybe they want to talk about their background, maybe they want to know your background, or maybe they just want to not talk about it at all.
Try and help people, try and share skills.
Be open to say what you think, and it's okay if it's different to what other people think.
Just being sensitive and being compassionate. I think those are the two biggest things.
Just being loving in the way that you respond to people and loving in the way you interact with others that disagree with you.
Well, a piece of advice I'd give any student, whether they're first year or second year, and I've learnt that obviously through life experience, is don't ever hesitate to ask.
One way that people can be more inclusive is to sign up for ally training. It helps to upskill and educate people about LGBTQI+ issues.
I actually don't mind how I'm categorised. I think it's fairly obvious that I am a mature age student, but here I think you're accepted for who you are and what you bring, and I think everyone brings something fabulous.
Don't flock around with people who you're just comfortable with. Take that extra leap, go that extra mile, interact with more people, and get out of your comfort zone, and trust me, that would go a long way.